All right. Hello, hello, hello. We are on the Shark Bite Show. I'm Valerie and I'm here with Kim. Hi, Kim. How are you doing today?
I am great. How are you?
Good, good, good. Um, Kim is going to tell us a little bit about her experience being with Shark Bite. She started off in a little bit more of a private training role, has now transitioned into our group classes. So we'll talk a little bit about both of those experiences and kind of her journey along the way. So before we get there, Kim, tell me a little bit about you and what you do outside the gym, and who you are besides a very consistent gym person.
Okay, well, I work in oncology research. Um, and I have five fantastic grandkids that I love to run around and play with. So that was a lot of motivation for me to go into the gym. Um, I had I used to actually be very physically active, and then I went back to school and life kind of got in the way, and I noticed I started putting on weight. And then I had a couple back surgeries, and then I had a knee surgery, and I just wasn't able to do all the stuff that I really wanted to be able to do. And so that kind of led me to looking for something to help me get back into shape and start doing something. So
For sure.
that was,
Is that now after all of those kind of like surgeries and procedures you had, is that kind of a turn where you started hearing from doctors and stuff like, oh, you're gonna have to take it easy, you're not gonna be able to do the same things you used to, and all that kind
Mhm.
of stuff?
Yeah, especially with the back surgery, they're like, "Oh, you're not going to be able to do this or that," or like, one guy told me I couldn't do like yoga because it was too much bending with the fusion, and it's amazing the things that you hear, and I'm like, really? Because
I
I
feel like that
really
could be the
think I
best
can
thing
do
for
it.
you. Yeah, like that actually
Yeah.
might be really good for me.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it was pretty funny to hear some of the stuff that they would tell me. I was just like, I'd like to just give it a shot anyway.
Yeah, right. So kind of piggybacking onto that. So you talked about your grandkids being like a big motivation part for you, kind of getting into the gym and staying active and getting back into that more active lifestyle that you were used to.
Yeah.
What were some other like big motivators for you to kind of like take that leap and come in and start or restart your fitness journey?
So I had, with all the surgeries and stuff, I had actually ended up putting on quite a bit of weight, and I just felt horrible. Like, I guess I didn't really realize, like, as it creeps up on you, you don't really realize how much weight you've gained, how tired you are all the time. I always felt exhausted. Like, I felt like I didn't have any strength left. And one day I was just like, I cannot feel like this anymore. I just got so sick and tired of being tired, is basically what it was. I just
Yeah.
couldn't take it anymore. I'm like, I got to do something. So that's what led me to go in and find a gym that fit what I needed, you know?
hmm Yeah, and especially that kind of accountability and making those lifestyle changes
Hmm.
because I think a lot of people can relate to what you just said about just like nothing's actually wrong. You just feel very low energy and tired
Hmm.
and blah all the time.
Hmm.
And we shouldn't feel like that. We should feel energized and healthy and like able to do the things that we want to do and have the energy to do those things. So that's cool because I think like that resonates with a lot of people, whether they know it or not. And interesting that you say like you didn't really notice it until you noticed it and you were like, I
Hmm.
felt like this a really long time.
Hmm.
And just like a weight loss journey or a gaining strength journey or whatever the fitness goal is, just like that isn't overnight. Getting to that kind of like pain point isn't overnight either. It happens really slowly with
Hmm.
habits over time. So we have to kind of acknowledge that those habits take a little bit to reverse too. So being patient
Right.
in just getting in a good routine and knowing the things that are healthy for you are going to pay off
Hmm.
is super important. So we talked about because I met with you when you first came in, and we
Yeah.
ended up going into private training first to do like strictly strength training. We didn't do a whole lot of high intensity or cardio, things like that. How do you feel like that benefited you in the long run with your history with your surgeries, and then just the progression of where you're at now.
Well, so when I was trying to get back into the gym, I had gone to like Planet Fitness and all this stuff, trying to just do it on my own. And I knew that I couldn't at this point. Like I was at the point where I had sat around for so long that I really needed to learn the movements again. So I think that was like one of the biggest things with having that private time with you and learning how to do everything correctly again.
Hmm.
Like I used to do it 20 years ago when I was young,
Right.
but as you age, things change, so you have to kind of take that into account too. So, I mean, I I wouldn't be able to do half the stuff I do now in our classes if I hadn't had that one-on-one time with you to where I could learn how to do it correctly and then start building up on it. My first Saturday class I did with the group, I was so, so nervous, but um, after having so many weeks with you, I was like, I could actually do this. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty exciting. I love it.
So tell me, we're gonna piggyback on that a little bit. Talk
Okay.
to me a little bit about like that experience going from that more private setting where like it's me and you or it's me and you and one other person to then into a high intensity class where you're
hmm
nervous, everything's moving really fast, you don't really know the people in the class. How did you transition into that? Like what were you telling yourself during that class?
So when I signed up for it and I just was like, all right, I'm just going to go in and see how it is. And I got there and there was a lot of people. I was like, ooh, I'm not used to this. Um, but like as soon as I walked in, everybody who was there, it was a partner workout too. So then I was like, I'm just standing there. I'm like, okay, I don't know anyone. But
Yeah.
the coach was like, come on, it's your first time. Come on, come on. They hooked me up with somebody right away. And everybody I talked to was so super friendly and helpful. And they were like, don't worry if you can't do it yet. Just do these little steps. You'll get to it. You'll get to it. Everybody just, I think that was the class that really kind of took me over. And I knew for sure I wanted to stay and join the group classes and just keep coming because it was such a positive experience from everybody, total strangers, but they were like, come on, you can do this. So yeah, it was
Yeah.
really good.
Cool. That's awesome to hear because that's super kind of like empowering and encouraging
hmm
how
Yeah.
helpful a good group community can be. And so many people, especially in our community, like just want the best for you and they want to help you and they want you to like
hmm
have fun because that's one of our biggest points here, right? Is to like have fun so you come back again and then you come back again and then you come back again.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
that's awesome to hear that like you were really nervous and then it turned out being like a really fun thing. You were like, oh, I have nothing to be nervous about. Everyone's really, really cool.
Yeah, it was really great. I was very, very excited and impressed after I was finished with that class because I was like, wow, everybody here is really a team player. Like everybody is going to help you move to the next step. So that
Yeah,
was pretty cool.
so
I'd never
were
had
you
that in
kind
another
of
gym.
like in your trial phase with that class, like in the back of your mind, you were like, I'm gonna try this Saturday class, and if I don't like it, then I'm probably not gonna do group classes.
Yeah, pretty much. That's kind of where I was at. If it wasn't for that Saturday class, I'd probably still be doing one-on-one with you.
That's
Hmm.
okay. We could do both. But that's cool here. So, having that experience, what would you say to somebody who is in kind of like a similar position to you? Maybe they're getting advice or having voices in their ears from someone else being like, you shouldn't do that, that's dangerous. They're kind of like apprehensive to start because they don't know anybody. What would you say to them?
I would probably say just go. Just go and give it a try because I mean, that was my thing. Like, I finally just was like, I have to do something to make myself feel better. And I just went. And that was like the biggest hurdle. Once you get through the door, and that's that's really all it is, just get yourself through the door. And I mean, working one-on-one with you, working in the group classes, anytime there's a movement I can't do, it gets modified so that I can do it. And I have been building up and building up in all the different movements that we do. So I would say, yeah, as long as you take that first step, that's really all you have to do because it's all downhill after that. Just get
The
over
hardest
that
part,
step and go.
yeah, the hardest part really is just
Yeah.
like getting there because then once you're
hmm
there, like people are talking to you, the coaches are telling you what to do. Like you don't actually have to think about anything once you're
Exactly,
once you're there.
exactly.
It's
Yeah,
just getting yourself to
yeah.
go.
Hmm.
So circling back to one of your main goals in just kind of like keeping up with your grandkids and staying healthy for them, how
Hmm.
has that changed for you? Because you've been almost a year now, so I think we started in like July last year. So it's been about a
Hmm.
year.
Yeah.
What kind of changes and stuff have you noticed there?
Well, so I'm able to actually run around and play in the backyard with the grandkids. So that's exciting. We've
That's
done,
awesome.
they got a trampoline. They're always dragging me out there. They want to play
You get on the trampoline?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Heck
got on the
yeah.
trampoline.
Heck yeah.
Um,
I love that.
yeah, my grandsons are super, super proud of me and very excited because we did that Savage race and they came and watched and they thought that was just the greatest thing ever. So now
That,
I am the coolest
that's so
grandma.
cool. That's so cool. Because
Yeah.
I remember you coming out to do that, and I was really excited for you too. Because I know you probably saw a lot of those things, and you're like, I don't know if I can do those, and probably
Hmm.
surprised yourself a little bit.
I did very much. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I didn't think I would
I
ever
love
get
to
through
see
that
that.
many hurdles. I was like, wow, this is really good.
That's awesome. Um, cool. Well, would you say has been your proudest moment since being here? Like, do you have a standout moment where you're like, I can't believe I did that, or something that like really sat with you?
Well, I have a couple actually. So one would be
Okay.
the Savage race because for me to get through the entire race and I got through, I want to say like 20 of those obstacles, I actually did them. So that was pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Um, and then being able to do a handstand.
I love handstands. I'm here for all of the
Yeah.
handstands.
Yeah. So now my next goal is getting those toes to bar. I'll do
There
it.
we go. All
I'm
right.
working on
Is that something you ever thought you would have done when you
it.
came in? Was like, I'm gonna do a handstand. I'm gonna show my grandkids
No,
a handstand.
no, not really.
That's
So
so
like my
fun.
upside down days are over, but no, I guess not.
Yeah. That's the cool part about like pushing yourself and
Hmm.
not even in the sense of like no pain, no gain, like going super
Yeah,
hard all the time, but just like challenging yourself to try new things and realizing that like you're stronger and more capable than you think you are. And
yeah,
that's something that I always try to instill in you guys. And I feel like gets embodied every time you kind of like try something new and maybe you're a little apprehensive about it, then you do it and you're like, oh, like what else can I do? And then it kind
yeah,
of
exactly.
feeds that and you're like, ooh, and you get excited about new things. So I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
that.
I love it.
Cool. Okay, fun question. If you had like a walkout song or a hype song, what song is
Mhm.
that for you?
Oh,
We can
you would
narrow it
have to.
down by
I have
like
no idea.
genres too. We can narrow what's like a genre that like if you're trying to get into like a
Hmm.
pump up mood, if you're working out by yourself, what would you put on?
I usually put on some kind of a dance music that kind of like what we listen to in the gym as we're all
Okay.
getting all pumped up and stuff. So
Kind of
that's
like
usually stuff that
remixes
I
and
listen to.
stuff.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay. Nice. So
Something
kind of
with a,
like
a
a
upbeat, with a fast beat, so that
EDM
it keeps
and
me
then it
going. Yeah.
builds and then it
Yeah.
like drops and you dance or
Yeah.
you lift or whatever.
Exactly.
Very cool. Well, I'll make sure I add a bunch of those into our playlist next week for our heavy lifting.
All right, cool.
Is there any other stories or anything you want to share from your time? Any more of those like significant standout moments that you're like, I can't believe I did that?
I just like I have been laid up for so long. So for me, getting up and making a point of getting up and getting to the gym at 5:30 in the morning because I know that's my time. Like I get up before everybody else. I leave the house. I get that in before I have to go deal with craziness at work, before I have to do anything else. That's just like my me time. So I think for me, it's just actually showing up every day and all the friends I've made now in classes and stuff and just going and hanging out with you guys and having a whole hour to just work on myself, but have fun with it and meet new people. And I like it. The whole experience has just been fantastic. So,
That's awesome. It's funny that you mentioned it, like how important it is to have like that hour to yourself in
Hmm.
a day. And like yours is in the beginning of your day, so that's how you start it. And you're like, this is my me time. Like I'm getting up, nobody
Hmm.
bother me. I'm going to the gym with my people. Like don't talk to me.
Exactly. I'll
And
see you in
that's
an
like,
hour.
yeah, that's like a really refreshing way to
Yeah.
start your day and be like, okay, now I'm like I've started off on a good foot.
Yeah.
But it like that early morning routine is not easy to get into. So kudos to you. Very like I'm very proud of you for like keeping up that
Hmm.
consistent routine because you've been doing early mornings since you started.
Yeah.
And so now it's kind of probably like second nature to you. But I'm sure there's
I
still
still
mornings you
drag
wake
out of
up and
bed
you're
every
like,
now and then.
I don't want to. Yeah.
I still do.
Yeah, so I'm very proud of you for that. That is not an easy thing to do. And you've been amazingly consistent with that. So awesome. Keep up the good work.
Yeah.
Um,
Thank you.
any final questions, comments, concerns?
No, no, I don't think so. Just tell them to take that first step. Go.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna put that out there and be like, Kim says just go.
Just go. Just
You
go
just have
and
to
do
do it.
it.
Awesome. Well, Kim, thank you so much for chatting with me. I won't take up too much more of your evening, but I will see you in the morning.
All right. I will see you in the morning.
All right. Thanks,
Bye.
Kim. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye.